board. You can fill out a card up front. Oh, Jen's not here yet. I'm sorry. Or there's agendas on the table up front, and we're just going to do two special presentations, actually three special presentations before we start the meeting. So we have a great program called the Ron Klusner Excellence Award. Excellent Award. Named for our Chief of Staff, Ron Klusner. And we have selected employees each month who are named Employee of the Month. And a committee meets, they review all of the nominations, and then they make the selections. So I'm going to ask Tony to come forward first to make a special presentation to the first Employee of the Month. Tony?
Thank you, Supervisor. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to present this certificate of appreciation to a great young man. I've known him since I got here back in 2006 as a planning board member. He's a zoning board member, but he's also a foreman in DPW, and he does a magnificent job. He's a big guy, stand-up Nick.
Come on up here, Nick.
This is Nicholas Rigney, and Nick is one of those true leaders in our department, and he's a leader because he leads by example, right? My priest always says that leaders don't come to this world to serve others, but don't come to be served upon, but to serve others, and that's what Nick does all the time. We received notices from residents on how well Nick represents the town when he's helping people, and that goes a long way. So, we are who we are because of the people that work for the town, us who are elected. They represent us, and I am extremely grateful for the work that he does day in and day out, and so is Supervisor Rich Schaefer, Terry McSweeney, Anthony Manetta, Jerry Campitello, Jennifer Montiglio. And Dwayne Gregory. We are very grateful for the work that you put in each and every day. And what I want to end up with, Nick, is that I know how much you loved your grandfather and how much your grandfather loved you. And I know that he's looking down upon you right now, and he's extremely proud of you for the work that you do, because you always share with me how hard your grandpa worked and how much time he spent working. And he left you with an advice, and the advice was like, yes, son, work hard, but remember to pay attention to your family as well. And you and I, when we speak, you always share that. And I think this, committee picked a great man to be the Employee of the Month. So, Nick, I'm extremely proud of you. Congratulations. You want to say something? I know you're shy, but...
Who did you pay off for this?
Nobody. In fact, I was shocked. I was actually out on bereavement, and I got the news that I was nominated, and I was taken back. Honestly, it's a great deal to serve these guys up here. We're all pretty lucky to know them, and again, 13 years here. I'm very honored to work under these guys. Thank you.
So now we have one other employee who is probably the newest employee who's receiving newest in terms of his work directly with all the town residents. He's been working for us at the town's industrial development agency over the years, and I'm going to ask Joe Nehemiah to come up. Joe is our other... So just to tell you really quick, so I met Joe when he was about 14, Joe? Joe was going to the same gym where I went to. He did MMA. I did push-ups and sit-ups and watched him do MMA. And he's a Lindenhurst High School graduate. And then he started working at the gym. He was a coach at the gym. He was a fighter. And one day, I think we were talking, he was just about to graduate from Farmingdale. And I said, what are you going to be doing? Because I had watched this kid, again, from 14. And, you know, these days, when you find a young person who's, like, focused and dedicated and committed, you want to figure out, is there a way to make him or her part of this team to join our Town of Babylon team? And so it all worked out. He's at the Industrial Development Agency, but at some point, we decided to create a health and wellness program for our town employees, and Rob Labiento is our director. He's here today. And it has taken off and exploded in terms of town employees' response to that. There's mental health aspect, there's a nutrition aspect, there's guidance on blood work, physicals, through Radish Health, which is a company that we use once a month. And we felt it was, especially after COVID, very important to focus on the mental and physical and emotional health of all of our employees. And we wanted to make sure that we understood that, they understood that, and that this was something that we needed to do. And so Joe made the pivot out of the IDA, and we designated him as the full-time employee who works directly with Rob to run a lot of the programs. And I see two of Joe's fans, or actually four of Joe's fans in the Vassell. Everybody has become a fan of Joe. In fact, I think they like Joe better than Rob at this point.
Can we see raise of hands?
Raise of hands, who likes Joe better than Rob? Oh, yeah. So, Joe, you were nominated and approved unanimously, like as Nick was. Where'd Nick go? I didn't. Oh, Janine, his sister, voted against Nick? Holding a grudge? But Joe, this comes from us with our love and respect for all that you've done, the big impact that you've had in such a short period of time. And I'm going to, can I blow the surprise about? Joe just found out he's newly married. In fact, I performed the wedding ceremony during COVID. And he just found out that he's going to be a father. So Joe's got a lot of good stuff going on, and this comes from us with our love and respect. Great having you on the team. Congratulations.
I'm a man of few words.
Man of few words, yes.
But I would just like to thank Rich and the town board for the incredible opportunity they presented me to really utilize the fullness of my skill set to serve the employees of the town. And just thank you very much for the opportunity. I couldn't be more thankful.
Here? Here? Up there? Good, yeah.
Come on, Janine.
We'll take one with Nick. And you want Janine in, even though she voted against you? And then we'll take one with you, Joe, and Rob, and the royalists of the Royal.
You should be all right.
And Nick, you're supposed to get cookies baked by Jen, but Jen's on vacation, so they're bringing the cookies next week. Janine, come on in. How old?
8 weeks on Friday. You blink like me? You blink like I was?
What do they call you? Your peeps? Safari Joe. Oh, the Safari Joettes.
Yes, but it's not on. Yes.
There we go. Good. One, two, and done.
What? Yeah, I don't either, so. All righty. Thanks, Steve.
So that's it?
Yep, that's it. Thanks. Could I ask everyone to please rise for a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. I'd ask that you keep in your thoughts and prayers the brave servicemen and women serving our country, both here and abroad. Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. Would the clerk call the roll? Is this on?
Councilman Allen. Here. Councilman Martinez.
Here.
Councilman McSweeney.
Here.
Councilman Gregory.
Here.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Here. All five are present. Just by way of okay, thank you. Just by way of information, hold on one second. This is the August 30th meeting of the Babylon Town Board. For those of you attending the meeting for your first time, meeting is divided up into three sections. The first is dedicated to the public hearings, and there are five public hearings scheduled for today. So if you're interested in addressing the board on any of the public hearings, you should file a card with our town clerk. When you do come forward, we ask you to state your name and address for the stenographer's benefit, and then we ask you keep your comments to 3 minutes. If you're watching us live today at 3 o'clock on our YouTube channel, you can click on the link and you'll see the agenda for today as well as the public hearings. If you're interested in submitting any comments on any of the matters that are subject of the public hearings or of the agenda, you can send us a message and one of us will respond to you. We'll get you the information you request or submit your comments for the record. If you're watching us at a future time, after 3 o'clock on August 30th, we ask that you use the same link that will be live, and you'll be able to submit those comments as well. Just by way of information, the fourth public hearing, which is a public hearing in reference to the coastal erosion hazard area variance of the Oak Island Beach Association, the Fairway Oak Beach, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-243-01-153 is going to be withdrawn at the request of the association. We received a letter from Mr. Jed Mead that was addressed to the town attorney dated August 25th, 2023. On behalf of my client, the Oak Island Beach Association, we're requesting a postponement until further notice of our hearing before the town board concerning a variance for the above referenced coastal erosion hazard area permit scheduled for August 30th, 2023 at 3 p.m. We will contact the town when we are prepared to reschedule. Please inform me if there is anything else required of us at this time, and please let me know that you received this letter. Thank you for your consideration. Cordially, Jed Mead. And just by way of information, for those of you who may be attending, if you're going to, and I'll call the cards, I'll call you during what's called the open portion of the meeting. That's the third portion. So we're going to do the public hearings, we'll do the agenda, and then we'll call those people who wanted to address the board on that application, because we're going to withdraw this public hearing And by way of information, that applicant, the association, will have to start their process all over if they are going to start their process again. But this will be withdrawn and not be addressed by the board. But you can still address us during the open portion of the meeting, which I will call you to. And like I said, the meeting is 3 sections: public hearings, agenda. There are agendas available on the front table up front here, and then the open portion, which we'll get to in a few minutes. So we'll go into the first public hearing on the designating the premises known as 354 Comac Road, Deer Park, New York, 11729, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-66-2-19.001, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. Let me just see if we have anybody here on that before I take a motion. Okay, so on this one, we've been informed that the owner of the Deer Park Motor Inn has retained new counsel. So this is a different attorney than the attorney that we had here, I guess, back in March or April when we had the last public hearing on this. So we're going to adjourn this. I'm going to take a motion to adjourn this till September 20th at 7 p.m. by Councilman Mineta, seconded by Councilman Martinez. All those in favor of the adjournment? Opposed? This public hearing is adjourned until September 20th at 7 p.m. Second public hearing is a public hearing on designating the premises known as 636 Farmingdale Road, North Lindenhurst, New York, 11757, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-133-1-001, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. I know Mr. Garabrand is here representing the applicant. I'll just put on the record that Mark is representing the applicant. This is the Pines Motor Lodge, and we have agreed that he is going to meet with Mr. Guarino and Mr. Rosaria about the issues that we have had there, and report back to the board with a plan for resolving those issues.
Yes, and just for the record, Mr. Garabrand did visit my office on Monday, and even before we started to discuss, he was creating the things that they are starting to do and planning to do to try to eradicate these issues. So
Great.
we're already starting.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Garabrand. So we're going to adjourn this. Can we give this a November date? November 16th. So I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney, to adjourn this until November 16th at 3 p.m. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Adjourn until November 16th, 3 p.m. Thanks a lot. Third public hearing is a public hearing on designating the premises known as 420 York Place, West Babylon, New York, 11704, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-159-3-12, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. This is the Sunview, which is in West Babylon. I know we have, Ms. Patel, who is, I guess, one of the owners. Sure, if you could just put your name on the record and put your mom's name, then what we're going to do is we have 2 people who are going to testify, and then we'll have you come up and respond to that. All right, but why don't you just put your name on the record now? Yep, so just pull the microphone over to you.
Vertically challenged.
Oh, that's okay, no problem.
My name is Sia Patel, and my mother is Hamina Patel.
Okay, great. Excellent. And thank you. So we're going to ask, who's going to come up first, Jerry?
Well, let me just give you a brief introduction.
Yeah, would you?
And
Yep.
Mr. Salas and Mr. Lugoa. Good afternoon.
Did you guys get
Sunview Motel is located at 420 York Place in West Babylon. The town of Babylon has initiated these actions under our public nuisance notice law. On July 26, 2023, a person by the name of Keenan Harrell was arrested for criminal possession of controlled substance in the 7th degree. That case is currently pending in the criminal court. The new adjourn date is September 15th, 2023. The second nuisance notice is based on a summons that was issued on 8/1/23 for no CO for massage services. The allegations are that people were going to this motel and using the rooms to provide massage services. We did have several inspectors go to the site. Mr. Salas and Mr. Lugo, they are here to testify. I'd like to call both of them up to indicate to the board what they observed and the conversations that they had with the owners. Mr. Salas, Mr. Hugo? Thank you. Could you just tell the board when you were there?
Could
and
you
what
just have
observed?
him give his full name and title?
Sure. Edwin Salas, Town Investigator.
Tell the board when you were there and what you observed.
Sure. We were there throughout the beginning of July on several nights conducting surveillance of the Sunview Motel after receiving complaints from neighbors that lived on the block.
Just pull that microphone closer so you can.
Sure.
Yep.
Is that better?
Yep.
Throughout the beginning of July, we had spent several nights and days at the Sunview Motel conducting surveillance after receiving complaints from neighbors that lived on the block saying that individuals were knocking on their doors in the middle of the night looking for prostitutes that were staying at the Sunview Motel and knocking on their doors by mistake, waking them up. While we were there, we conducted surveillance. We did see a lot of what we believe to be behaviors and activity related to drugs. The investigators dug in online. We were able to find some of the advertisements for the prostitutes that were staying at the Sunview Motel. And on July 17th, we actually visited the site after watching several individuals pull up in their cars, go into various rooms for short periods of time, and then leave. Made contact with Mrs. Patel that day and set up a meeting for July 19th at the town attorney's office with Mr. and Mrs. Patel. During that meeting, we spoke about some of the complaints that we had received from the community, as well as the evidence that we had gathered. Both Mr. and Mrs. Patel were aware that the activity was going on to the point where they knew which rooms the individuals were staying in. We spoke about two rooms in particular where those individuals were asked to leave that day. We also discussed activity that was going on in one of the rooms, room number 1, where we believe there was a individual staying there and operating, doing a massage parlor in the room. We explained to Mr. and Mrs. Patel that this had to stop immediately, that it was illegal activity, and that also the establishment, the motel, was not permitted or have proper COs or licenses to conduct this type of business inside one of the rooms. They understood and ensured that the activity would stop. After that day, we were able to conduct surveillance again. We realized that the individuals from the first two rooms that were engaging in the prostitution acts were gone. We still saw that there was drug activity taking place there, and we still saw that the individual in room 1 was operating the massage parlor out of the room. About 2 weeks later, after the meeting, we were informed by Suffolk PD that arrest was made for drugs on the property in one of the rooms that we had originally spoke about, where the tenants remained. And on August 1st, we were informed by code enforcement that they went there and, while doing an investigation, witnessed the activity still going on in room 1 with the massage parlor. And that was Zach. I'm sure he can fill you in a little bit on that.
Anything else you want to add? You have all this documented as part of your investigation notes,
Yes, we do.
so that it's available in case we need to proceed through this?
Yes.
Because you understand what we're considering today is whether or not to declare this a public nuisance, which would involve actually shutting the motel down and requiring them, the owners of the property, to correct the violations to the satisfaction of the town. If they chose to challenge that, that would be, we would have to offer up all of the information that you've provided. So that would be clearly documented.
Yes, yes, it is.
Good. You want to have Inspector Lugo? Inspector, just state your name and what your title is.
Name is Zach Lugo, and my title is Zoning Inspector, Code Enforcement. So on August 1st, myself, Inspector Ronnie Morrow, and one of our supervisors, Kevin Kane, were with us. We got calls from the investigators about the Sunview Motel Unit 1, that they were conducting the massage parlor services. So we went there, we knocked on the door, nobody answered at first, and then I went to the front office where I then spoke with Mr. Patel, and I spoke with him about what the complaints we've been getting, and he knew right away what was going on. He knew that the woman in Unit 1 was conducting massages, and I asked him if she was there in the room, and he said no, and then we went back out just to knock on the door again, and then we saw the curtain move, and then she opened up the door, and the woman, Giamim Sprout is her name. She opened the door.
Could you just spell that?
Yeah, it is Jeomim, and then Sprout, Sprute. So yeah, she answered the door. She, had a massage table right inside the room. We didn't think anybody was there until we saw some movement and the door move in the bathroom. So we asked her if somebody was in the room with her right now. She then said yes, and then we said, is it for a massage? She explained yes, and then we asked her if she has been charging people, for her services, and she said that she's been charging $60 for 45-minute massages. She then explained, she said that, I asked her if the owners knew. She said yes, and obviously, like I said, I spoke with the owners, and they knew about it as well. And we told her that the massage that she was doing at the time had to end, and then the gentleman came out and he left, and then she started packing up her stuff and left, and we issued a notice of violations to the Sunview Motel and to Giamim Sprout as well for the no CO, for the massage services, and also unlicensed massage parlor.
And what date was this?
This was August 1st.
So this was after the meeting that was held with
Correct.
the Patels in the town attorney's office on July 19th.
Correct.
And this was after they were instructed to cease all the activity.
Correct.
Okay. And are you aware of any advertisements on social media or the internet for this location?
No, not to my knowledge.
Mr. Salas, are you aware of any advertisements?
Yes, we had advertisements that we searched online. There were prostitution websites where we found individuals that we were able to link to some of the rooms
So they
through
were-
photos.
So the advertisements which you can provide to the board
Yes.
were for individuals who were offering services where you would show up at the Sunview Motel?
Yes, you would call the phone number, set up an appointment, and we linked the individual staying in the room to the individual in the photos.
Which probably explains why I was getting calls from residents of York Place with these people, random people showing up, knocking on their doors.
Yes, around the time you received the calls, when we first started doing the surveillance, there's only 8 rooms in the hotel. It's an L-shaped parking lot, and it was out in the open. There were 3 or 4 women standing out there. Guys were coming in, parking their cars, and they would just meet up with the woman in the parking lot, go right into the room. Everything was very blatant. I know during the meetings we spoke with Mr. and Mrs. Patel. They told us that when they're not there at night, they're able to watch through the camera system. But even when we conducted surveillance at night, the activity was still the same, if not heavier. Everything, since it was such a small area, was just out in the public view.
Okay, good. Do you have anything else to add?
That's it.
And do you have anything else to add? No? Okay, thank you. So, Mrs. Patel and Ms. Patel?
you want me to state my name again?
Yes, could you?
Yes, Sia Patel, daughter of the Sunview Motel owners, and
Hamina Patel.
I'm sorry? Say that again?
Hamina Patel.
Just spell that, your first name?
Hemina.
Great, thank you. And what's your home address?
My home address,
Mhm.
420 York Place.
You live there?
Like we just moved there. I usually live in Bayshore.
I'm sorry, make sure you're speaking into the,
I have a house on Bayshore.
and what's your address in Bayshore?
270B North 3rd Avenue, Bayshore, New York, 11706.
Okay, but now you've moved to the motel
Yeah.
as your residence?
Like motel has a one-bedroom apartment.
it has
And we used to be.
It has, okay.
We
got it.
used to be stay there.
It has a manager's quarter.
Got it.
And my brother and I both grew up in that manager's quarter.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you for.
And how long have you owned the property?
Since 2006.
2006? Okay.
So as we've owned the property since 2006, my brother and I have grown up there. I myself have grown up at the hotel itself. I actually graduated, got my bachelor's, got my MBA, all at the Sunview Motel. We were present there, and you know, having grown up in that place, having grown up with all the neighbors around us, you know, we have tried to maintain the best environment as possible for our neighbors and to maintain orderly conduct. However, when it came for the first notice for the arrest for the drug possession, yeah, you can speak, Mom. That's fine.
Sure.
Like when we did the meeting with Edwin,
I'm sorry.
like with the town, I know only Edwin. Edwin, his
Right,
name.
on July 19th.
Yes,
Yes.
I did meeting with him. He was great. Everybody's on town was great. But then I forgot that day to tell I have to go Boston for my parents live there and their party. So I forgot to tell him we are going for Boston. But then we heard that when Edwin came first day, I totally freeze. My mind is freeze. I said, what's going on? Because all neighbor and everybody, we are very good. So Edwin told me, then right away I go all the room and I said, you have to be check out from the room. And I asked the lady, I said, do you do the advertising or something? No, I won't do. I said, yes, I got it, the town hall. I got meeting and people told me you do the advertising from online and we are not person that we are using for like internet or we are not used that much. She's the always help us. So she said, no. I said, and then that time I asked the Edwin, she can stay because I know the people cannot read out right away because they're going to ask, oh, my stuff and this and that because we are used to about that motel for 15, 16 years. So Edwin said, yeah, she can. People can stay, but they cannot do the business. So I told, don't do it. And then my husband canceled the plan to come Boston. Me and my son went to the Boston because my parents' birthday party we celebrated. My husband said, I'm not going to come. You go with my son, and I can stay here because that's the happen. What they're doing, if we go, we don't know. So my husband stay, but my husband has some problem. If I said kick out them, he right away go inside and kick out. But I don't want you to do that because the female, they're going to do some different.
So do you mind if I interject? She's
Sure, no,
having
no.
a little bit of, yes.
It would help us.
Because he was the only male present on the property, he didn't, you know, he was very apprehensive of kind of, you know, evicting her because he didn't want her to, you know, kind of blame him in terms of, oh, he's, you know, possible sexual abuse, whatever, what have you.
That's why I said, just wait.
And this is we're talking about
After the July 19th meeting.
right, but we're talking about the woman who was doing
Number
the
one, yes,
right.
correct.
Okay.
And then I said, my husband, don't, just wait for I come back. I came Monday. I don't know the date, but I'm going to tell you date. Monday evening. Then next neighbor, she knows, and she said, the town called me. I said, yeah, I got a meeting with town. So town called me about they're going to shut down your property. I said, yeah, I know that. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be read out. But only the one Tuesday, I'm working on Dunkin' Donut. I'm covering manager shift, Dunkin' Donut. So
You're working at a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, and
Oh.
Stefan was big king of the Long Island, and he knows me. I'm working with him well.
Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Stefan,
Stefan?
honor of the.
Oh, okay. This
Yeah.
is your boss.
So that day I have, like Tuesday, I have to cover the shift. So I did the cover his shift, and I said, Raj, I come back, then I am gonna read out. Then by the time my husband called me, Tina, the town people or somebody come, and then I came right away. I cannot come, but I came. I said, let's what's going on?
Sure.
And then I saw, and the lady, people saw me, and they told me like she's doing. Then I told the lady came office. She said, I need the cab for call cab. I said, where is your car? She said, I park in the fit.
Can I ask you a question? How long has she been a?
Around like 2 years.
So let me ask you just the way it works. So she says she wants to rent the room.
Mm-hmm.
And does she rent the room just during the day, or is she live there, or?
Sorry, I'm
Sure.
going to switch to me. Yes, I'll explain to him. She basically for 2 years has been living there like on a nightly basis.
So
Weekly, yes.
So she stays there.
Correct, yes.
So
was
she may be doing massages during the day or at night, but then she sleeps there.
She sleeps there.
Right.
That's correct.
So that's been her place of residence for the last 2 years?
That's been her place of residence.
Okay.
That's where she has been staying.
And is it meant to be a place of residence?
Yes, you
Is
can.
there a kitchen?
No, there's no kitchen.
So
no.
there's just a bed and a bathroom?
That's correct, yes. So she's been staying there, but they were unaware that she was totally running this entire business
Right.
in the room. They're very vigilant. They like to go outside.
Who's very vigilant?
My parents, the owners, yes.
So did they see random people coming
They
in?
did, and they questioned her, and they did say, "Why do we see these many people coming in and out of the room?" To which she always responded, "My friends are over."
Okay. Is she not there anymore?
She is not there. That is correct. So
Okay. So wait. So let's just stop right there. So you've corrected the issue.
that's correct.
Right.
As
so,
well as
so
the
I
first
want
person.
I want to put that on the record
Absolutely,
that that person is no longer there.
no longer there.
The person was removed after you learned
That's
of
correct.
what Inspector Lugo. Where did he go? Oh,
Correct.
Inspector Lugo put
Yep.
on the record,
Correct.
and so that issue's been resolved. Keenan Harrell,
Yes.
who
so
was arrested for, so he's no
got it,
longer
Mom, I
there.
got it. So I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I said Keenan Harrell.
Yes. So in the case of Keenan, what happened was that a town board member did come to inform my parents that this person is a drug. I don't really know who came. Someone came to
From the town.
From the town, yes,
Okay.
to inform them that this person is, a drug dealer.
Okay.
Be vigilant.
Yep.
So what happened was that when I inquired, because I'm all the way in South Carolina, I'm trying to
Oh.
help them out. They're very, as you can tell, they're not so fluent in English, so all
Right.
the support is virtual.
Yep.
So as soon as we got the notice, I looked into it, and then they said that Keenan was actually not a registered guest
Oh.
at the hotel, and
So this was a visitor.
that is correct. And there is a sign at the front office when guests register that if you are not a registered guest on property with your driver's license and everything given to us, then you have to leave the premises. So he was
So
a visitor.
whose room was he in?
What room was he in, Mom?
Number 3.
Room number 3. She was a registered guest.
She was.
She was.
Is she a long-term guest?
No.
No,
As
she
soon
was
as we got that notice,
gone.
we told, and the town, someone from the town, I think Edwin maybe, Mom? Or who? Yeah, Edwin, I think, told them too that number 3, she can stay. If she's registered.
Cops.
Oh, the cops. The cops, and I think they have a police report too.
Yes.
So they said that if she is a registered guest, she's safe. She can stay. Regardless of that, just my parents were extremely cautious. They kicked her out too.
Okay.
So they're both no
And
longer.
I have police report too.
She has
I'm sorry?
She said she has a police report.
Oh,
for it.
yes, we have a copy
They
of
have
that.
a copy.
Yep. So just so I can summarize, so Keenan was a guest, a visitor, and he is not there anymore, and the person who he was visiting is not there,
That is correct.
and the woman, forgot the name there. Zach gave us the name, but the massage woman is no longer there.
That is correct.
Okay, so you have 8 rooms. So who's there? Is there? You're in one room, which is the
They're in the manager's apartment, which is not even
manager's
part
apartment.
of.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 8 rooms plus the manager's
correct.
apartment. So now you're renting out the 8 rooms. Have you had any issues since then with
No,
any
sir.
of the
No,
either guests, or
No,
and do you
sir.
have any long-term guests?
Some
Long-term,
number five. Number 5.
Number 5,
who's a long-term person?
long-term person.
And that person is, there's no issue with?
No issues that, to our knowledge.
Right.
No issues.
Okay, but,
Yes.
so you understand why we don't want to bring you here, we don't want to have you come from South Carolina. What we want is we have to respond to the residents, right?
Absolutely.
So again, we're under an obligation to do that, and we want to make sure that that you understand the seriousness of this and that the public nuisance law can be used. It's going to be used in the case where you don't respond, but clearly you've responded in both of these situations, which we greatly appreciate. Now, do you own any other motels?
Yes.
You do? Any in the town of Babylon?
No, Bayshore Inn.
The what?
Bayshore Inn
Bayshore Inn. Is that by
partnership.
the Peter Pan Diner?
I think so. I believe
Yeah,
so.
by Howells Road? What
I
is
think
it?
it's on Howells Road. Yes, it's
Yeah.
on that, like, when you go onto the
Yeah, the
service
little,
road. Yep.
the little spin-off there.
It's okay, Mom. It's fine.
Also, we are like South Bayshore Inn. We take over last year. I do night shift over there too.
You do night shift at Bayshore
Yes,
Inn.
and also people is like over there so much drug is activity. I always stay strong. That's why they put me on the night shift too. But over here we take camera also in the apartment, the living room, so we can see the activities.
Right.
After that, one lady is fine, but I saw the couple of visitor
Could I ask you a question?
after this situation.
Could I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Is it worth it?
I'm sorry.
Is it worth it for you? I can see the stress all over your face. Is it worth it for you? You don't have to answer that, but I want you to think about it. There are a lot of people clearly taking advantage. And the message we have is, and there were 2 other motels on this agenda today, that we're getting very serious with what's going on in these places. So, but you should really think about it, because what you just described to me is that not only you operating this place, you're working for your friend in the Dunkin' Donuts, and then you're going to the night shift at the Bayshore Inn to deal with whatever chaos awaits you tonight, right? You look like a very nice person. I don't think it's worth it for you. So I'll leave it with that. But we appreciate you coming in today, and we appreciate you quickly dealing with these 2 issues. And we'll stay in touch with you through Ed and his staff, the town investigators, and Inspector Lugo. And understand, you can reach out to us if you believe that there is an issue, that we'll be happy to work with you. So when we have owners who want to work, because we know that you can't control everybody who's coming in, and you can't like size them up and question them, get 40 questions. We understand that. But if you find that you're facing an issue, or you're dealing with somebody who's unruly or maybe up to something, we're available. That's why we have these individuals that can work with you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to close and reserve on this, seconded by Councilman Gregory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is closed, decision reserved. Thank you, and you can go today. You don't have to worry about anything. The Patels, yeah. You don't have to worry about anything else today, okay? And you can be in touch with Ed. Thank you, and have a safe trip back. So as I said, the 4th public hearing has been withdrawn. 5th public hearing is public hearing on amending the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances, Chapter 3, Article 2, Section 3-4, parking, standing, and stopping restrictions designated. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Martinez, to close and reserve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is closed, decision reserved. I don't believe I have any cards on the agenda. So these are all for the open portion, so we'll go right into the agenda, to the consensus resolution agenda.
I'd like to offer the consensus resolution agenda.
Second.
All those in favor of the consensus resolution agenda? Opposed? Consensus resolution agenda is approved as is with no items needing to be removed. We'll go on to today's resolution agenda, Resolution 659.
I'll offer Resolution 659.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 660.
Offer Resolution 660.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 661.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney. Yes. Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Yes, resolution is approved. 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed. Resolution 662.
I offer Resolution 662.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 663.
I offer Resolution 663.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Yes, resolution is approved. 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed. Resolution 664.
Offer Resolution 664.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 665.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 666.
I offer Resolution 666.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 667.
I offer 667.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Abstain. Resolution is approved. 4 votes in favor, 1 abstention. Resolution 668.
Offer Resolution 668.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
And I abstain. Resolution is approved. 4 votes in favor, 1 abstention. That's it for the resolutions. We'll go to the open.
I just muted it. I turned it off.
Is that it? Everything?
I just muted everything and it stopped.
Shut it down. All right. So I'm going to call out Victor Marlowe. Just come forward and put your name and address on the record. I'm sorry? All right. We'll go to the next one then. Dawn Morrison. And Dawn, you can talk about, you have the Oak Beach issue and a roadway? Okay. Yep. you had something about?
My other question is, in July, one of the residents of Oak Beach had a party. It started July 22nd, went into July 23rd. At 3:30 in the morning.
Is this the one where the parents were away?
No.
Oh,
3:30 in the morning, I walked over because it sounded like it was like a club and like a game going on. And there were all cars parked on the sides of the road, blocking the road. And there were notes on the cars that said, approved by the town of Babylon for July 22nd to July 23rd. So I was just wondering which office within the town would issue such
None.
approval.
None.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We wouldn't do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Victor? I think Victor came back. Yes. Victor, come on up. Victor Marlowe? Yes. Yep. Good.
Sorry, I was a little late.
No, that's all right. Just state your name and address.
My name is Victor Marlowe. My address is 25 Fairway, Oak Beach, New York. Supervisor Schaefer and town board. The lease agreement that I signed, I've been your tenant for 42 years. I signed a lease agreement 42 years ago that had a rider on December 5th, 1973. And it names the Oak Beach Association as your agent. There is a learning curve in Oak Beach. Originally, your agent has helped slow slow learners to understand this. In the last 6 years, your agent, the association, has become a truculent advocate for its own agenda, relentlessly advocating for the sale of unbuildable lots. Currently, the advocacy for a commercial entity, a marina, has caught your attention. I believe a commercial docking facility will be an albatross for all of Oak Beach, not just the association. Irreparable damage will fall on all homeowners located on the fairway. Contractually, I cannot find support for a commercial entity on association property. I am requesting, as your tenant, that you deny with prejudice your agent's rapacious request. Please remind your agent of the learning curve. Custodial responsibility for Oak Beach falls on your agent and all property owners in Oak Beach. Please, as I said, sternly admonish your agent for what they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Evelyn Scalise? Good afternoon.
My name is Evelyn Scalise. My husband Joe and I have resided at 39 Bayou, Oak Beach Association, going on 52 years now. Our granddaughters currently represent the fourth continuous generation of our family to reside at Oak Beach. The The living quality of life aesthetics of this community, the potential of financial and legal liabilities of this proposal placed upon the residents of the Oak Beach Association and town of Babylon would be devastating. Preservation, along with continued proactive stewardship of this fragile environment by Oak Beach residents, in partner with the town of Babylon support, is essential. The Fairway Community Beach lot at issue, related waterways, habitats, wildlife, and marine life, and its unique vegetation, the peace and tranquility it provides, deserves to flourish and exist in its natural state for generations to come. Reminder, this is the last vestige of Mother Nature's 5,000-year effort to create what has become known as Oak Beach, never to be destroyed by anyone.
Thank you.
And now, if it's okay, my neighbor had given, he's unable to attend for medical reasons, so he asked if I could just read his statement.
Sure.
And I also have a copy to.
You can hand it up to the
hand it up?
clerk. Yep.
Okay, when I'm done?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I am reading on behalf of my neighbor. His name is Kevin Paquat. He's been a resident for several years now. He's been a long-time water roller person. So on behalf of Kevin Paquat, I am a current waterfront resident at the Oak Beach LIB Association on a Bayou. To be clear, this proposal doesn't directly impact me, unlike waterfront residents of the Fairway. During the association voting, I opposed this construction purely from an objective point of view, asking these two questions. Would it make a positive difference to the local and larger community as a whole? Do the positives overwhelmingly outweigh the negatives and the risks? As I have shared at multiple Oak Beach Association meetings, there are three key challenges with the proposed construction that cannot be prudently mitigated or answered. Those two questions in determinism, given its location. Public safety has indicated the ongoing fiscal responsibility in the long term of all Oak Beach Association residents, general liability to the community, and indirectly to the town of Babylon as a whole. Further, this proposal underscores the need and the pressure test the town of Babylon's valiant leadership which outweighs any potential benefits of its construction. In the end, this proposal is not a priority or necessity for our community, only for a few residents that will be chosen from a lottery, especially in the light of the fact that there are less invasive solutions economically as well as environmentally, as well for the safety, liability, and fiscal perspective between residents that have unused docks they could share. Capturing and scenic communities are less than 5 minutes away. I end my perspective with 3 questions for the board to reflect on. Does this make a positive difference to the entire community and the larger community? Does it improve the environment in which we live? Does it set a positive precedent for future engagement? Given your mission and the concerns outlined in good conscience, I think the answer is self-evident. I respectfully oppose this proposal. Respectfully yours, Kevin Pasquale.
Great, thank you. Just hand that up. Thank you. Mary Ann Conti. Sure, you can hand them up to Jen. Mary Ann Conti.
I would just like to say, our family, for 52 years going now, we have always offered our docks, which many of my neighbors can attest to, for free toward their boats at our docks.
Thank you. Mary Ann, just state your name.
Conti, I live at 81 Pleasant Drive, in the Oceans Association. I am also a realtor, and I specialize in the beaches. So it's important to me to see how the beaches, the grass will finally keep the pristineness of our beaches stay alive. I watch my customers come into the association, and I watch them go to other beaches. And when they come into the association, they're
included the pictures in the record. Thank you. Sure, just submit it up to Jim. Jim Netter? Jim, did you have anything to add?
Hello,
Hi, Jim. Just state your name and address.
I'm Jim Netter. I live at 77 Hauser Drive in the Oak Island Beach Association. So I've lived in the Oak Island Beach Association for almost
No, I may say you look very good at 73. I hope I look as good as you at 54. But as a board member, like I'm catching up a little bit on what's going on here. So from the previous comments, it seems there doesn't seem to be a shortage of dock space. So is it to generate revenue? Like I'm trying to understand why we're trying to create more.
As they have mentioned, there are several board members that do not live on the water.
Okay.
And they use other people's docks. They don't like that. And the people that are letting them share the dock, I'm one of them because I have a dock. And they use it for oysters and boats and whatever they want to use it for. There's plenty of docks that have availability. Vinny's got a dock that has a place available for a boat. If somebody wants to use it, he's never charged anybody to use it. He pays for the dock, pays for the entrance. There's plenty of those docks along the waterway that if someone asked, we probably would say yes. But no one's asked. Instead, they're asked to build these docks in a location that's ridiculous. And I don't think it's necessary to have the docks at all. And so I, as a board member, said that, but of course I voted against.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Jim. Michael Lanzolata.
That's my question.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Lanzolata. This is my partner, Matt Perry. Good afternoon. We live at number 2 The Fairway. This application proposes not only the creation of a 10-slip dock next to our dock, it proposes the removal of our private dock, a fact which we learned just 2 weeks ago from the town. Our home was advertised as, bring your boat up to your private free-slip dock. At closing, we received all the legal permits issued by the town for our dock, going back decades, and we happily pay additional premiums to insure it. Here's a brief history of how this association board has treated my partner Matt and me over our 2 years at Oak Beach. At the meeting to explore a 6-slip dock, the board handed Matt and me a ballot pre-filled with us voting yes in favor of the dock. We immediately changed the vote to no before submitting. At an association committee meeting, our neighbors generously nominated Matt and me to the board. Those neighbors later told us, through extreme embarrassment, how our sexual orientation had bizarrely become the topic of discussion, and that a board member told the group Matt and I were no longer members of the association.
When
we
did that
had
happen?
Interviewed, approved.
When did that happen?
It happened at a nomination committee meeting, which was dominated by 4,000 of board members, and 2 board members showed up besides.
That was this year?
Last August, we received a letter.
Last August, okay. I just wanted to clarify the time.
So even though we have been interviewed, approved, and welcomed as members, as noted within the association's minutes, the board sent us a letter saying we were no longer members and that they would only direct communications through my father, who had interviewed alongside me and Matt, and whom they now deemed the sole association member of our household. At subsequent meetings, Matt and I were publicly shamed and not allowed to vote, even with a proxy signed by my father. I've been forced to secure
So just, I'm going to request the town attorney, if you could engage Dr. Coverdale and have a report prepared on the allegations that were just presented by Mr. Lanzillotta. I'm very... So just by way of information, Dr. Coverdale is he works with, it's his company that does a lot of discrimination issues internally for us in the town, as well as he's now, as he jokes, being able to put both of his daughters through college, because we have him doing a lot of outside groups as well that are connected with the town, and the association being one of them. I would like, and I think the board would agree with me, that we would like a full report on this, have him conduct interviews and tell the association president and the board that they have to submit to his questioning, so that we can get to the bottom of this, because I'm very concerned about the allegations there. Robert Colon. And see if we could put a short time on it, 90 days, 60 to 90 days. Yep, go ahead, Mr. Perone. Yes. Just state your, what? Oh, can we try it again? See, they're not working, so you need to speak up. Speak up as if you're yelling at your two sons.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go. Just state your name and address.
So my name is Robert Perone, 348 West 21st Street, Deer Park, New York, 10729. Yours. Good afternoon, Rich Schaefer and members of the board. And I begin by
I have. Check. Next line says, Mommy still cleans up after me. Check. And then the last line says, all of the above. So when this first came out, naturally, you know, everybody has something to say about something when something comes out. But I will tell you that people in Deer Park saw this, and, you know, some people said, what a joke, it's not going to work, blah, 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 this and that, et cetera, et cetera. The bottom line is this, look, and I don't mean to compare North Babylon, Deer Park, or anywhere in the town of Babylon with Florida, but unfortunately, when you go down to Florida, it's a little bit cleaner down there. For whatever reason, I don't know whether it's a tourist attraction and they promote cleanup, but you walk into the restroom in Broward County and there's a sign that says if the restroom condition is unsatisfactory, contact park staff, and there's a number, and thank you. You walk along the boardwalk down in Hollywood, and the sign overhead is very simple. Stop littering. You are not alone. Heavy fines, $500. So I'm going to tell you, honestly, I don't believe this is working. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's not working. Simple. So I propose to the town for everyone in the town of Babylon. I don't know if all of the board members live in the town of Babylon?
Yeah, they have to.
So this is not only for me. This is for you. This is for your children, for your families, and for the future of the town of Babylon. Okay? I'm proposing that you place a sign in a strategic location, north, south, east, and west, when you are entering the town of Babylon. And the sign, I have two signs that I propose. You could take your choice. It would go something to the effect of this: entering the town of Babylon, no tolerance, litter law. First offense, $250. Second offense, $500. Third offense, $1,000. Strictly enforced. Cut and dry. It's going to solve two problems. It's going to solve. See, I got some backup. Thank you, people. And I didn't bring them with me.
Alice
It's going to solve two
Capaldo definitely
problems.
backs you
Number
up.
one, it's going to clean up the mess in our town. And I'm not saying it's a mess. And Rich, look, I have texted you in the past when I've seen people on Deer Park Avenue doing a cleanup. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to beat anybody
no, it
up
is a
on
mess.
I'm
People
not
are
here to beat up
pigs.
anybody on the board. I'm here as a give the shirt off my back kind of guy, straight up. Okay? I don't like when I drive down Deer Park Avenue, they pull out a McDonald's, they pull out a Burger King, they drive a quarter mile down the road, they open the window, and the bag of, excuse the French, shit goes out the window on Deer Park Avenue. Okay? And you've cleaned up. I understand that. You've done your fair share of
We
cleanups
do it
there.
every day.
But it happens over and over. And if you can correct me, I believe I Googled it. There's 230,000 people in the town of Babylon?
220.
220. Okay, so if you take 1% of 220,000, that's 2,200. So if 1% of those people are people who don't pay attention to the rules and litter, you got 2,200 slobs who are throwing, excuse the French, shit on our roads. Straight up.
Yep.
So the next one reads this. That's one option. The next one reading, entering the town of Babylon, no tolerance litter law, $500 fine, strictly enforced. So you have two options.
Good.
But one of them should
Can
be
you
put
hand
into
them up?
place. Yeah, I got them up
Great,
there.
thank you.
All right. Just real quick, I don't want to keep on going. I'll make this as short as I can. Enforcement. Town of Babylon, public safety code enforcement. They drive around the town, okay? While driving around town, take notice of eyesore properties, if they will. Send notice to the property owner to clean up or get a fine. There's property owners who, and I live in Deer Park. Honestly, there's some properties, and I'm not kidding you, the weeds on the curb line are 3 feet high.
So just by way of information, we don't just find them. What we do is we clean it up and then we bill them for the services provided. So if you have addresses,
I do. I have
yeah,
a list.
just
Absolutely.
Ronnie Klusner will take them from you. Ronnie's right here.
There you go.
Excellent.
One second. The other one is the AT&T property.
Yep. So
Commercial property. You on
just
to that
tell-
one?
Yeah, just to tell you that we had served them with a notice of violation, and their compliance date was Friday. Oh, it's coming this Friday. So they have till this Friday to do it themselves. If they don't do it, we will do it next week and bill them.
All right, look, I don't want to be a pain in the neck, but I'm going to be straight up with you. The property, all of the shrubs are overgrown, the curb line.
Yeah,
the
you and I
weeds, the
talked about this the
garbage.
other day.
I went to there, with all due respect, I went up. I tried to speak to the manager of the property. The guy copped an attitude with me.
Yeah, we
Wrong
did
thing
too.
to do.
Yep.
He told me, if you don't like it, call the town. So guess what? Here I am. And guess what? Not only was all of the weeds and this and that and everything else, I'm not kidding you. Bra and underwear in the parking lot.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, Legislator Donnelly had reported to us about 2 weeks ago.
All right. So, look, again, I'm here. Look, I love this town. I love Long Island. I love all you guys. You support you. I'm a constituent, okay? I do what I got to do. Just work with me. Help me, okay? Commercial trucks driving in the town of Babylon with no cargo bed overhead top. Okay, you go down Long Island Avenue over there, Jason, there's the parallel to the tracks over there. They run up and down there. Now, there's no top on top. So when they're running down there, the wind's blowing, all of the stuff is blowing out of the back of the truck. It's all over the place. Okay? So if they can enforce that, if you see a truck, your code enforcement guys are around, give them a summons, a ticket, or whatever they have to do. The word gets around. It's a very, talkative world with communication. Develop a stricter and better let me see. Number 3, develop a stricter and better. Number 1, town road notify after a motor vehicle accident. This is the other thing, too. You have motor vehicle accidents all over the place. Now, I'm told that the tow truck driver is supposed to clean up the mess. Guess what? BS. They ain't doing it. So, I propose to you to notify when there's an accident. If it's a town road, notify the town of Babylon Highway. If it's a state road, notify the New York State DOT or Public Works. If it's a county road, notify Suffolk County Public Works. So,
Rob, just to tell you that their license gets suspended if they don't. So when we receive the information, and we all receive them regularly from text messages, if the tow truck operator who responded to that doesn't, their license gets suspended and they get fined to pay for the cleanup.
all right, but just so you're onto it, you know what's going on? Because I've seen accidents of
Rob, you want to see my phone?
Okay. So that's that.
You're
that's
not
that.
the only one who texts me, Rob.
All right, and then one other thing real quick, and then I'm going to go and leave you guys alone. Okay, we talk about quality of life and whatnot. So you drive down various different roads, and anybody over here behind me will tell you, you see all the signs either on the side, stuck in the ground, or on a telephone pole or whatever, signs saying gutter cleaning, power wash your house, we buy your house, this, that, the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if we can, I don't know, you might not like this idea, you may not. The town of Babylon creates a website that you have all of these people, they could post whatever they want on the website. You charge them a $25 or a $50 fee per month to post, and no more of the nonsense all over the poles, all over the streets, all over the place. And then you put your legal disclaimer in there that, you know, you're not responsible for their services, et cetera, this and that. It's just advertising media, and it's going to serve two purposes. It's going to clean up all of the riffraff all over the place, because when people also look at the signs and they're not paying attention to the road in front of them, guess what happens? They have an accident.
Yep.
And then, you know, the accident happens, they smash the bumper, and then the tow truck driver comes and he doesn't shit to do cleanup.
There you go.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So that's it.
Susan Kane.
And
you hand that up, would you?
I sent this to you too.
Yeah.
About in June 27th of 2021. This was sent to Phil Boyle about that piece of equipment, which is
Yeah, you handed that up.
right. Now,
Yep.
this look, I don't sell this equipment, but just to pass it on to you to give you the heads up. When my daughter was up in Albany, and you know she lived on Hudson Street, which is party street for the sororities and Ferrarities.
Yep.
A Monday morning came, the guy would come down the street with this piece of equipment, and in an hour the whole block would be cleaned up.
Right.
So you might want to look into this to, clean up whatever you got to do on the sides of the roads. It's just a piece of equipment that does a lot of work and gets the job done.
Yep. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Susan Kane. Yeah. Good afternoon.
My name is Susan Kane. I live at 22 The Fairway at Oak Beach. I've been a resident for more than 23 years, and I have raised my 5 children here. I don't agree with this 10-slip vinyl floating dock on the west end of the fairway, just a few steps away from my home. I respectfully request the Town of Babylon Board deny the coastal variance permits allowing the dock would be an environmental quality of life disaster for the Fairway residents and our community at large. The negativity impact and the intrusion on my neighbors and friends, Michael Lanzalotta and his family, affected by the noise and the privacy in their own backyard and potential destruction of his property. There also isn't any parking for these 10-plus cars. The fairway is only wide enough for one car. God forbid there is an emergency. It would be very difficult for emergency vehicles to get down the block with 10-plus cars blocking the road. The financial burden and the liability to our community and the town of Babylon is unnecessary and injurious. If anyone gets hurt on the dock, the association members and the town of Babylon will be liable. So I also have some letters from my family members also.
Sure, if you can hand them up and we'll take them. Thank you. Okay. I don't have any other speakers, so I'm going to take a motion to adjourn from Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Gregory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Shit. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we could do it quick.
Yeah, we'll call.
I guess we missed the wait.
Yeah, I'm going to go at 7. Jerry. Good job.
Spoke to the ladies for Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
The two
Yep,
ladies.
sit down. Yeah, yeah.
So I basically echoed what you said, like we're on the verge of tears is a word that I'm kind of pushed at. She said she's only going to stick around for 4 more years. Probably should better get in the fuck out. Even though 4 years is a long time, it's a plan. And then I was spoken, and then I was, you look great, you look great. You look awesome.
He's lost like 30.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I don't know nothing.
That helps with the exercise. Say that again?
Unfortunately, because the mics weren't on, that was picked up
Oh.
on the recording
Oh,
for
excellent.
YouTube. So I'm just going to go by their speeches or whatever.
Yeah. Just go by their speeches. Yeah, no problem. Jim.
I tried to get whatever I could from them.
What is your, because I took him outside. I took him outside and I said, listen, he's being nice now. But if there's another effing arrest, he's going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. I said, in a nice way, I said, the only reason why he didn't shut you down is A, he's a nice guy and he doesn't like to shut businesses down. And B, I didn't say anything about, I said, the second offense wasn't as serious as the first offense. But I'm telling you right now, look at me. I told her, if there's a second arrest for a violent